Time is just gone 11 minutes to 10 a.m. as we head towards closure of this morning's edition of News and Views with myself, Inayet Wadee. And let us not keep our eye off the ball in terms of what is happening in Jerusalem and Al Quds. And this morning, we joined once again on the line by Abeer Zayyad, archaeologist based in Al Quds. Sister Abeer, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Jummah Mubarak. And as always, welcome to the show.
Walaikum assalam. Thank you for this update all the time and for your concern about Jerusalem.
Yes, these updates are absolutely necessary. And just looking at some of the information that has come to us, one with regard to Israel media reporting that officials have asked the Biden administration to put pressure on the owners of Sheikh Jarrah to accept a deal so that they can give up their house and become protected tenants.
Yes, they are trying to put a lot of pressure on the people who are living there to accept this solution, to buy time till, of course, this will be end in the media, and at the end they will take the houses. You need to know that the Zionists, sometimes they buy houses or they do some deals that end after 20 years. For example, they buy a house and say to the person that they will take it after his death or something like that. They do things like this. At the end, their goal is to have Jerusalem without Palestinian, even if they wait 20 or 30 years to do that. So they are working in each house, in each area in Jerusalem to do that. And what happened in the last week about the fire, it also take you in a new view about what happened in Jerusalem in 1948 and tell you what is the plan for Jerusalem. Because the fire which have done in or happened in West Jerusalem, which takes almost 70,000 dwelling was damaged with this fire. When the fire ends, what was released under this fire, the remains of the houses, the remains of the work, the history of Palestinians who used to live there, their villages, their antiques, everything was there after this fire. You know, when Israel occupied West Jerusalem in 1948, they done massacres in the people, and who stay alive, they run away from the Israel army. So Israel to let no one see the remains of these villages. Some villages they built on top of it, and some villages instead of building, they put trees on top of it. So when this fire happened, it was released about these houses and these remains, which just say to the people what happened in 1948. And this is what Israel want to do. The Zionists want to do also in West, in East Jerusalem. They does not want to see any Palestinian. They call the operation of West Jerusalem when they occupied it. They call it clean of Jerusalem. To clean it from Palestinians. And this is what they succeeded in 1948, but they was not succeeded in 1967. And they are working for that in all their power to take us out from 1967 Jerusalem, from East Jerusalem. So they are working hard in Silwan, in Sheikh Jarrah, in the old city, in other area. Also in Beit Hanina, they take some houses. And this is puts more and more pressure on us. They want us to leave, and with all these pressure that are happening against the people here, and taking the houses, the demolishing others, the arresting, the shooting. Just if you see the video for the last night, there was a guy, his name is Ahmed Al-Salaimi, was walking in the street after he finished his work, and some Zionists youth seen him alone and that he's a Palestinian. So they attacked him and beat him, and at the end they stabbed him and left him bleeding in the street. And he's now in a dangerous situation in the hospital. This is what we are facing in Jerusalem.
Yes. Now, also, Sister Abir, we hear about Israeli occupation forces still continuing with their detentions, and as you mentioned, the incident of last night. But also, we've heard about a Palestinian child, Ayman Abu Al Hawa from the Al Tur neighborhood, who was detained by the occupying forces.
Of course, this is all the time happened, and Ayman Abul Hawa is one of many people that are this happening to them. There is a lot of people are suffering, and every day there are people, and you are also for abandoning from the mosque. Also, in this week, my younger brother was abandoning from the mosque because he drank water and one of the sisters want to drink water in the same time. So my brother continued drinking the water, and this was enough reason for abandoning my brother from entering to Al-Aqsa Mosque now.
Yes. Now, just also, I've seen a few reports come through, Sister Abir, and we know what has happened with the Taliban and obviously returning to Afghanistan. And I think there have been certain messages that have come through on social media. Just how have the people of Palestine responded to or received the news of the Taliban government taking over from and obviously with the Americans forces leaving Afghanistan?
It's a very different opinion here, in fact. Some people are saying that anyone is working with America, they are at the end, will happen to them. And this is that they take the occupation, American occupation from Afghanistan. Other people are afraid on women and education in about historical and archaeological buildings and stuff like that. So it's very mixed emotion, very mixed opinion about what is happening there. So you can't say that everybody with this or against that. It's very mixed opinion. But at the end, everybody is against America because we as a Palestinian, we consider United States is the main power and support for Israel and support for the occupation and for killing us and kicking us from our country. So of course we will be with anyone against United States. The other thing that there some people was writing about the people who was killed by the airplane when it come out and that they fall down, and that none of the humanity rights had spoke about what is happening there and how these people was killed and was going from the airplane. And they say that if any other country had done this, that it will be a different situation. But because it was done by United States, everybody was shut up about this.
Well, Sister Abir, Jazakallah khairan so much for that. And it's always for your time with us here at Salam Media for providing the updates out of Al Quds. Allah accept, Allah reward your efforts. And inshallah, Allah keep you safe, your family, and everybody out in Palestine and in Jerusalem. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. That was archaeologist based in Al Quds, Abeer Zayyad, with an update out of Palestine, out of Jerusalem this morning. And that basically brings us to the end of this morning's broadcast, this morning's edition of News and Views on this day of Jummah. We trust and hope that you will continue enjoying the benefits, the barakah, the blessings of this wonderful day of Jummah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you good health. Allah grant you safety and protection. And let us continue reciting abundant durood on our beloved Master Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Well, it's time for me to sign off, and I'm going to be signing off with a beautiful nasheed, inshallah. And until we meet once again next week, from myself and the rest